Now, I can scrape towards myself because I've got one of these on, but don't do it at home. So if you leave this fat on, when it cooks it burns, it's the first thing to burn. And that's where you end up with your black on your ribs once they're cooked. So if you scrape them off, if you've got any fat on there, then just wrap them in alfoil, and that steams them off, and they're a lot easier to pull off when they're done that way.
I think it's a lot easier to be done if you ask the butcher to do it.
Yeah, I'm with that. But it's all time.
Yeah.
The ones we do in the window aren't trimmed to this degree because they're not going in a restaurant. The chefs are very fussy. They like their bits and pieces done properly. So this is my scraping knife. It's not the knife I've owned it. Well, I've owned it at one stage. Now, two ways you can do it. I always trim after I've shaped it. So by shaping it, what I'm going to do is actually string it up. And the idea of stringing it up is to put the meat under tension. So when I do it, I want to line my string up as close to the bone as I possibly can. You can see that makes the meat sit up. That helps when you're cooking it so it doesn't collapse. That's why you truss meat up. So if you're doing a big roast, now if you're doing a full Scotch fillet, get it trussed up, and that helps stop it collapsing during the cooking process. Makes it a little bit easier to carve too. Speaking of carving, I'll show you the easy way. You know, on Saturday morning too, we'll be carving up a leg of ham in the mall there. I'll also be showing you how to care for it, how to protect it, and what happens when it goes in your fridge, what to do when the salt comes out to the surface, all that sort of stuff. As I said, these are about 150 to 180 kilos. Just by having that pressure. So that last rib I'm not going to use. So if I remove that, that gives me a nice easy way. So you can see where the dry edge is. So top and bottom, you don't want to eat any of that dry edge. Alright? So I've got to take it off at a place where there is none. That's great. The colour of that. Again, this end. So when you're cutting your steak, a lot of people push down the knife. If you watch a butcher when he's cutting, he slices. So the reason I make a knife 15 centimetres, 20 centimetres long or 30 centimetres long is the whole blade sharp. So when you're slicing, you can slice it. So if you start at the beginning, push down, draw back. It's nice easy. So when you're carving a roast, so if that was a roast and you saw it, see how thin you can get it? Plus that steak's pretty tender.
And the knife sharp.
Oh, no, steak's tender. It's like a mechanic's car, it's always the worst car. So a butcher's knife is always the worst knife. So as you can see, you get about 5 ribeyes. If you got on the website of Facebook and watched the video breaking that particular one up to get to this point, right, you'll see that I marked it down between the 4th and the 5th rib. So what I took off was the 4th. So that way I've got a nice eye of meat all the way through. If it gets down below here, it starts to run into the eye of chuck, right, which is just chuck steak basically. It's a nice part of it, but if you're going to roast it, it's alright. But if you're going to fry it up and bake it, it's not as good. So that's that part of it. So we'll head over to the pub now, and I believe Kim's got some cold beers over there.
Maybe back rib that Trevor supplied. Raised it in the Clare Valley cider with some fennel, some onion, just a few peppercorns, black peppercorns, for 2.5 hours covered, and then we took the cover off and caramelised the top for about half an hour. Yeah, and then we just served it with some sweet mashed potato just for a bit of extra flavour.
So what are you doing to the ribeyes out the back now?
We've got the ribeyes out the back, they're nice big ones for you. We're just going to char grill them off, serve a medium for you. And we're going to serve it with some scalloped potatoes, baby carrots and some broccolini. We have some stout jus, made from the Clare Valley stout obviously. It's nice and rich with all the flavours from the stout.